Hey, what's up? This is Brandon Simmons for BrandonSimmons.biz, and this is my weekly video blog called Bullheaded, a review of the Houston Texans news, as well as a preview of the upcoming game matchups. So, this week, after the Texans got their opening season win over the Jacksonville Jaguars, they're going to come up against somewhat of an immediate test against the Cleveland Browns. So, before I get into all that, let's just focus on all the good news first. So, Texans got their home opening win against the Jacksonville Jaguars, week one of the season. Uh, and so, as expected, the fan base is completely lit. They're on fire right now. And nobody, including the fans, including a lot of the fans, really just gave the Texans a shot at having like a great season. I think the most total that I've seen people really give the Texans a shot was maybe like 5 games to win this year. And so for them to like, get for the Texans to come out and play the way they did and notch that, first win of the year. I think a lot of people are excited because they probably feel like we may or may not get too many more of these. But even aside from that, it was just a great performance by that team on both sides of the ball. Tyrod Taylor, he is like the star of the week this week. Um, I've seen people write articles, think pieces about him, and all this other stuff about his journey. And you know what? It's pretty much deserved. He came out. He came out in this game. He had a little bit of a hiccups, but eventually he, kind of just kind of calmed down and got in control of the offense, able to move the ball down the field, move the team down the field to quite a few scoring positions. Him and Brandon Cooks, they displayed some great connections, two big plays to help set up some scores, and also big 132-yard game. Big up to Tyrod Taylor for just having an amazing performance overall. 291 yards, two touchdowns in this game. Another thing that looked impressive was the rushing defense. Last year Texans got their butts kicked up and down when it came to defending the run. But in this very first game of the year, they established some sort of dominance. It kind of turned into a little bit of a negative, given that they gave up. They allowed a rookie quarterback to come in and throw for 330 something yards. Um, but whatever. That's I don't know. That's the game of today. So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. I guess on that aspect, but I think just them coming out and just seeing that particular area, defending a run, seeing that particular area get fixed, it was a little bit encouraging. Um, from this defensive unit led by Lovey Smith. And overall, not just with Lovey Smith, just overall, I think despite the 300 yards, I still want to give credit to the secondary for forcing three interceptions. So, yeah, it's a rookie quarterback. So what? This it was just a total defensive. It was a total defensive effort put on by this unit, and it was a great effort put on by both sides of the ball. So, very much I want to give credit to head coach David Culley. Happy birthday or happy belated birthday, depending on what time y'all are watching this video. So just a very impressive performance by both sides of the ball, the defense and offense, and it was something that the fans just kind of needed. It was something positive that they needed to have, you know, for the longest time, considering all this Deshaun Watson drama and all this other stuff. So glad the fans can enjoy that. That if we were, just not just the fans, but the players too, if we were just enjoying this a little bit too much. This is a long football season, and yes, this was one win, um, out of 17 games that we have to play. So one of the things that I kind of came across was Mark Ingram's comments. Running back Mark Ingram, he had 85 yards and a touchdown in the game the other day. But he said something. Yes, I do have a say. Thank you. So this is what he said in regards to the game. He was like, "We don't care what nobody say. It's all about what we believe in this locker room. It's all about what we believe in this building. And we believe we have a team that can be great, win games, be a championship type team. That's what we have all aspirations for. If you're not playing this game to be a champion, if you're not playing this game to be the best, if you're not playing this game to win, and you're in the wrong business. And that's what we all believe, and that's what we're all pushing for. That's what we're working for. So amazing quote by Mark Ingram. It was something I was kind of like, okay, you putting a little bit too much on it, but at the same time, I was like, I kind of see like what he was trying to do a little bit. And so, what I mean by that is, it's 17 games in a year, and you know, right now we got our first win. And but as I mentioned earlier, not a lot of people expected us to kind of have a great season overall. So it's like, you know, all these things that are, probably coming into play of, our opponents and blah, 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 and, who might beat us and all this other stuff. It seems like it could probably be taxing on, players. And maybe young players in particular. So he's probably saying all these things like, hey, um, don't forget, forget what people are actually talking about is what we can actually show them. If we go in here, we put in the work, um, we just come out here and just perform and do our best, then yeah, we can be a top team. So yeah, I can't get hung up on the. I was hung up on the words like championship type team, and it's like okay, I can't really get. I don't even think he's hung up on that too much. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna get hung up on that that much as well. But I definitely see him, just trying to like put that out there and just kind of boost the. He's not gonna go out there and say like, oh yeah, I can't wait till week 15 when we've played ourselves and solidified the third pick in the draft, just so I can go ahead and schedule this vacation or whatever. Nah, he's gonna be like, look, man, this we got this win. Expect us to get a lot more because we're professionals. We didn't just come out here to just like kind of waste the season away or nothing. So I definitely feel that's what he was trying to do as far as like boosting the morale of the team with those comments. Um, and just other than that, man, I think I was really about to come in here and just kind of tear down like the first week high that we pretty much we've all had, and you can't. I mean, you can't blame the fans for having this high. You can't blame the players for having this high. Like it feels good, when you win, and it especially feels good, when you feel like people have counted you out from the first minute of the first quarter of the first game of the year. So for us to go out there and just put on that type of performance, um, in the home crowd and all this other stuff, it's just a great feeling that the players are going to have. And it's also a great feeling that, the fans are going to have because, as a Texans fan, we all know that we got the win and the team across the other across the state did not get the win, but we not gonna get in all that because this ain't that show. So with that being said, man, um, it's definitely a first week high, and now we gotta see if we can get a second week high. So that brings me to the game against the Cleveland Browns. And, Texans, they're going to be on the road facing the Browns, and it's going to be somewhat of a first test of the season, against a, quality team. So for the second week in a row, the Texans will be facing a number one overall pick at quarterback, Baker Mayfield, this week, former number one overall pick. And, you know, So anyway, so yeah, they're going to be facing them this week on the road. And I know a lot of y'all probably remember last season when the Texans went on the road to face the Browns, and you know, at the time, we had Deshaun Watson or whatever, but aside from that, on the other side of the ball, they had Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. And on our side of the ball, we had one of the worst running defenses in the entire league last season. And so, as expected, Hunt and Hunt and Chubb, they went it. They kind of went in on us. You know what I'm saying? They had the I would say, as the game got late, they really started to pick things up, if I can remember. And also, aside from that, the weather was like atrocious. So it wasn't like, we could really get into, our passing game and, kind of air the ball out a little bit. There was like a storm right before the game, which delayed the kickoff. And so the weather conditions were really like, just bad. Just they were perfect for. Let's just say they were perfect for running the football, and it was something that we could not do on either side of the football. Whether offense or defense, we had trouble with the run. That actually any emotions. There's a lot of emotions coming from different spaces, if you will. So us coming off a highly exhilarating win for our franchise, and them coming off from a disappointing loss, um, in which they really could have made a statement for themselves. So with that being said, the Texans have to go into Cleveland, and there's a few things that they have to do if they actually want to win this game. So first thing they got to do, everything the Texans did in Week 1, it has to be done twice. Cleveland Browns team probably have been familiar with over the quite a few years now, probably over the last 20 something years. Now that they re-entered the league or whatever. But it's still not your regular like Browns team that you're just waiting to screw up. Or that's just waiting to just screw things up. This is the team that has been to that's coming off a playoff berth from last year, in which they beat the Steelers, and in which they were pretty close to beating the Chiefs in the second round. But um, they're coming off this week 1 loss. They're not trying to like just roll over and what I'm saying, just wither away back to the bottom of the division. No. This is a team that's, kind of learning how to win with the right pieces in place, especially at the quarterback position. So Jaguars at that reported. This is the game where he's gonna, have to get this team to show that they can be everything that he said that they are, or close to being what they are. Because this Browns team, they're not for play anymore. These guys they got a taste of what winning can do, of what consistent winning can be like. And so I think they're on a mission this year to really just kind of get back into that and just really get after, or just really get after teams as much as they can. So they're going to be hungry come this weekend. Second thing the Texans need to do, the run defense, it has to continue to show its improvement. So, last week they did their thing against Jacksonville's running backs. I think it was James Robinson and also Carlos Hyde, who we know as to be a like pretty great running back, during his time with the Texans. But um, this defense has to show that, it has improved since last season. And, it showed it in that one game, but it has to continue to show that. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, like I mentioned, they averaged 5 yards per rush last week. And so, that can't be that can't be the norm this week. They got to find some way to slow that down. And all the play. I think it was not just them that rushed, but I think it was like two or three other players that showed up as like having some type of rushing stat, and each one of those players didn't have under 6 yards for their rush. So granted, it was like one or two rushes or whatever, but those are like on trick plays and things like that and scrambles. And so those little trick plays and scrambles, they kind of add up, especially the trick plays. Because all it takes is one good trick play to, kind of just burst open for like maybe 10 yards or so. And then at that 10-yard mark, somebody missed a tackle. And then 10 becomes 25 or 30 and so on and so on. So definitely need to be aware of, the trick plays that they'll be running as far as like getting wide receivers to freaking do reverses and all this other stuff. So definitely the main point is just hold Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt down to a measurable number of rushing, and just let the rest take care of itself. Third and final thing Texans got to do, continue to get more turnovers. Last week they won the turnover battle 3-0. They got 3 interceptions off of rookie quarterback. Excuse me, I am drawing a blank. Oh my God, it has been a long day. Sorry. Rookie quarterback Trevor Lawrence. Forgive me, y'all. It's been a long day, and my computer was acting up earlier. So, yeah, last week, 3 interceptions off rookie quarterback Trevor Lawrence. That's what the Texans got. Last week, Browns, they lost their turnover battle. Baker Mayfield, he threw a pick. Uh, Nick Chubb, he actually fumbled the ball and lost the fumble or whatever. So, um, I would definitely say, just, continue winning, just continue generating turnovers. This Texans defense has to continue generating turnovers. And that can also include getting pressure on Mayfield. I was reading their injury report, and they had quite a few injuries along their offensive line. So I think one of them might be out. I think Jedrick Ellis. I probably have to check back on that. He might be questionable for this Sunday's game. So just just kind of keep the pressure on Mayfield, and force him to throw those turnovers or create those turnovers as well. And that's just something that'll definitely hold leverage in the game, hold leverage for you to win the game. So 3 things they got to do. Number one, everything they done in week one. Everything the Texans did in week one, just do it twice as much. That goes for everybody on both sides of the ball, offense, defense, passing game, be more aggressive, running game, be more efficient and productive. Defense, definitely, play harder, get more pressure on the quarterback. Um, Second thing they got to do, run defense, continue to show its improvement. Also, third thing, defense overall, just continue to generate more turnovers, and just to keep, just to establish some type of dominance within the game, and just kind of put the game away. Once the offense, handles their business. So that's all I got for y'all this week. Uh, Sorry for that long pause about that, but like I said, long day. But anyway, that's all I have for y'all this week. I'm Brandon Simmons from BrandonSimmons.biz. Holla black.